Okay, people. So, just checked out a vampire love story, a vampire romance. And, I think when you say those words, you can definitely be very skeptical, right? Because when you think about the stories that are out there, right? The whole Twilight nonsense. You've got fucking True Blood, and there's other stuff, right? A Discovery of Witches. Um, is it Jane Yellow Jacket? I feel it's Jane Yellow Jacket series of books, and there's just so many different things, and everything seems to go in the same way, right? So yeah, I think you could be skeptical when looking at something like this. Now, Bite Me is from the duo of Meredith Edwards and Naomi McDougall Jones. So, they've worked before together. Um, and yeah, this is their new joint, right? I mean, gosh, their first one. What was the first one? Believe I'm Beautiful. I believe that's that was the name. Imagine I'm Beautiful. That's the name of their first joint, right? So they're back. Edwards is directing, and McDougall Jones, she writes the piece. Okay. I mean, she wears a few hats. Definitely wears a few hats up in this, right? So yeah, McDougall Jones, she also produces it along with Sarah Wharton. Um, it's executive produced by Joanne Zippel, Susan Stutberg, Martine Melou, Jack Lechner, um, co-executive produced by Mary Glossbund, Ellen Hagg, Penny B. Jackson, Thomas Campbell Jackson, Ira Lechner, and Michael Wintington, and associate produced by Carrie Woodworth, Jess Wise, Jacqueline Pareda, Catherine Kars, Hannah Cheeseman, Bronwyn Carson, and Sammy Bass. It is, we have Iua Lee on cinematography. Eric Francis Olson handles the music. It's edited by TJ Misney and Chris Steele Nicholson. Judy Henderson handles the casting. Nicole Purcell, the production design. Alberto Di Fonseca is art director. Veronica Moonhill, costume design. We've got Jenny Chin, Michael Gorsey, Naomi Rads, Sarah Salvino, Chelsea Tranor, Charles Zambrono, and Lindsay Trop, all handling makeup and special effects. Jack Gnarly is on production. And there's more people involved. Our cast, well, McDougall Jones, she also stars in the piece. She plays Sarah. We have got who else do we have? The Naomi Grusman plays Chrissy, and Mahari Kaka plays Lily, Sarah's roommates. There's Christian Coulson, who plays James. He's an IRS agent. His boss is Tim, played by Harold Surratt. And he has a colleague called Faith, played by Annie Golden. We've also got Makia Martin. She's a security guard for the IRS department. Then we've got other people up in the spot. There is Staz, who's played by Antonio Crowley-Kamenwati. Islay Fire, played by Meredith Edwards. You know, we have got Cindy, played by Bronwyn Carson. Ambrosia, played by Cassandra Sidenfeld. Regan, played by Mia Romaro. Steve, Bob Jaff. Yeah, I mean, there are kind of our main group of people. There's a lot of others, you know, involved and all of that kind of jazz. But yes, they're our main lot, right? Oh, and James's mum, Pam, played by Susan Wands, right? And the gist of the film. Did we do the film? I don't think we looked at the film. All right. The gist of the film, people, is this. Okay, so when Sarah, a real-life vampire, gets audited, the last thing she expects is a date. But an unlikely spark with IRS agent James forces two misfits to confront whether they have the courage to commit the radical act of falling in love. Bum, 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 bum. So yes, there you have it. And yeah, like, I don't know. There's a thing that's on the website, right? And oh gosh, what does it say? Bite Me speaks volumes about the state of our society, as those who don't conform to societal norms struggle to be seen and accepted for exactly who they are without judgment or prejudice. Which, you know, I do think that is a thing, right? But like, no one is not one of those things where people will instantly look at you and know, hold on, that's a vampire, right? Now it starts off and Sarah's in a bar and she's, you know, narrating, and there's a woman kind of across from her and she's just like, that's the look, right? Because you have this woman look at her and she's like, yeah, that's the look. When people kind of make an assumption about you and all of this, and I'm just like, all right, that's a clear thing, but it's more of, because this is what happens, right? If anyone has crazy hair, and the other thing on top, she's got a face tattoo, people will always look, right? Because it's not the norm. It's not something that you see. You know, most people, they've got their normal blonde, brown, black, you know, red, whatever color hairs. You know, so if someone's suddenly got purple, green, blue, all mashed up, it's like, whoa, okay. Like, sometimes people look, because it's just like, that looks fire. I wonder if that would look good on me. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's that, right? It's looking because, or damn, that person is, man, they're brave. I could never do that shit. I don't think that would look good on me, but they rock it. They rock it, right? Sometimes it's that to look, right? But we make assumptions that, oh, it must be a bad look, right? But yeah, like, she then says, but, they look at me and make these assumptions, but they don't really know the truth. The truth being, I'm a vampire, right? And the film starts. So, they've got themselves into hot water, right? Because this guy from another vampire sect has gone on this reality TV show. The IRS has then looked into this group, right? The Church of Twilight, they call themselves, which obviously, right, that comes with jokes, and they address that in the film. But it is like, you call yourself that, people will obviously jump to a conclusion, you know what I mean? But yeah, so now they're being audited. And so we go on this journey, right? With Meredith? Chrissy. Yes, Sarah, Chrissy, and Lily. It's this whole thing because they're trying to not get fucked, essentially. You know what I mean? Because boy, when you hear about like the monies that they might have to pay, it's just like, yo, okay. So obviously they're looking at all of this, but behind all of this stuff, it is a story of people looking for a connection, right? Looking to feel like there's a place for them. We have this thing between Sarah and James, but then there's also the other housemates, Chrissy and Lily, right? And I think one thing here that I thought was interesting, and I don't know, I've not really seen this in other kind of vampire type things, right? I mean, there was that film, which I can't think of the name, where they're making a film about a vampire, but then it turns out the guy in the starring role is actually a vampire, right? But in this one, Lily has a situation with a dude she's dating, right? And he's like, oh, if you're a vampire, how can you be Muslim, right? Because I think that's the thing, right? Because I think a lot of I think like devout Muslims, you're kind of vegetarian, right? So drinking blood from a human, you're like, I don't know if that works, right? I don't know if that fits in. But then she's like, yo, just because I'm this doesn't mean it changes this. And you're like, oh, you know what I mean? That's true, right? It's like you can like one thing, right? You can, it's like if you're conservative, you could still have thoughts on the other side. Then the flip, if you're Republican, if you're Labor, you can again still have thoughts on other things that relate to the other parties, right? It's all of that kind of thing. And I thought that was an interesting point, right? That I don't know, it's something that you don't as I said, you don't really find in these films, right? And so yeah, we get these two people, what's the orbiting? That's the word I was thinking of. Orbiting each other, trying to work out what's the situation. And there is a charm in this. It is goofy in places for sure, but yeah, there is this honest little charm about the films, about these interactions and everything like that. Now, I will say it does fall into the trap of, you know, people, they find this thing and then there's something that kind of breaks them apart, right? Before they come back. And like, there is always this thing in stories about relationships where someone does something that doesn't make any sense, right? Because you kind of feel you could say, right? Like, regard if you have differing opinions, because I feel it was laid out at the start, right? Was laid out at the start. There is a thing that is said, and then there is a like, I know, but I appreciate boom, boom, boom. Right. So you're like, okay, that's established. So then at the end, well, towards the end, like this thing happens, and you're just like, homie, all you had to do is pick up the phone, right? Or turn up, right? Like when, yeah, there's these things that happen, and you're like, why would you do like it doesn't really make any sense. Why? You know? I mean, they say he says this thing, and you're still like, yeah, but that doesn't address anything, really. And so you just think, all right, you can make all of these declarations, but if you break trust in a certain way, it means nothing. Right. And so, yeah, we get this thing, and we see it. We see it in so many films, and it just doesn't really make any sense. And it was a shame. Like, you felt it was coming. You know what I mean? You did feel, okay, I feel this is gonna happen. Right. And it's just a shame, because I think if they could have navigated that differently, it just elevates the film a bit more, right? And that bit does bog it down. But, but I will say, yeah, like there is this thing about the film, right? This quirkiness that does kind of draw you in, you know? So if you dig a little indie action, you know what I mean? If that's your thing, people, right? Then I feel Bite Me. You know what I mean? I think that will work for you, you know? Like Laguna Avenue, right? Imagine that craziness and oddness. So there was a funness, a charm in that, right? So I think if you like that, then I think this will, yeah, for real, speak to you. And if you liked their first film, Imagine I'm Beautiful, then yeah, of course, right? You're gonna be down, you're gonna be down with Bite Me. And you will be able to get it from all your favorite VODs on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday. I feel, yes. Yeah, Tuesday the 15th. Yeah, that is the 15th. 15th is Tuesday, I think. Whatever day that falls on, people, that is when you can grab this film, right? So, yeah, from all your favorite spots, you know what I mean? Apple, Amazon, Google, right? All of them, you can find it there. So, people, yeah, if you want to see a different type of vampire relationship, then Bite Me could be for